All right, everybody. This is episode 5 of the Cuckoo Attack, and this is really episode 6, but we're gonna say this is episode 5. We did a pretty lengthy episode 5 back in the beginning of April, which we haven't put anything out for a while, and a lot of that had to do with me being out of town, being sick, and then just not really feeling up to it. But I'm back. We're gonna do this, and hopefully not have an episode that gets destroyed by a direct the night after we record it. So, which is pretty much what happened with the last episode 5 we recorded. The Smash 3.0 direct released like the night before we were about to upload it.
Yes, like 90% of what we recorded became irrelevant.
Yeah, we talked a lot about like characters we wanted to see in Smash, or like move sets they do, possibly the next characters for Smash. I mean, some of it probably would have worked still, but we talked a lot about Labo VR, which neither of us had at the time, which then came out like that Friday. So yeah, there was a lot to talk about that was completely irrelevant by the time we were gonna upload it. So
maybe we'll release clips of it later as like episode 5, the lost levels or
yeah,
something.
I know we talked a little bit about like we can just mention it real quick. I think we talked about like hopefuls for Smash Brothers, and we talked like Banjo Kazooie would be awesome just based on its character and move set, and
Yes.
we also mentioned kind of a wish list of like maybe Hollow Knight, but don't know how that would feel in Smash. Um, so we'll see what comes out of E3 because I'm sure we'll get some sort of Smash announcement on the Direct on June 11th from Nintendo at E3.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
that is
so
like one of my top 5 anticipations that they'll announce at E3.
yeah, I'm sure they will, and hopefully we will get some Xbox partnership love with some Banjo Kazooie. I know you love the game. I've hated on it in the past, but I am open to playing it again with better graphics and better camera controls. So, but with that said, let's get into tonight. We just watched the Super Mario Maker 2 direct that came out about 3 hours ago. Sat down, watched it again, took some notes, have some reactions about some of the new stuff they added to the game, and
Yeah, we'll give you our hot takes here.
yeah, hot takes. So, like I said, 3 hours ago this came out. Me and Patrick haven't even talked about this yet together, so um, we'll just start right off the bat. Super Mario Maker 2 releases on June 28th, 2019. That's just over a month away. So
Yep.
that's gonna be the next big Nintendo title to drop, and I will have it day one. It looks awesome, and I really
My
enjoyed the
gosh.
first one. So
I can't wait. I cannot wait to get my hands on this.
yeah. So some of the stuff that they just showed at the very beginning was just if you've never played Mario Maker before, which it was a Wii U game, so a lot of the Switch base probably didn't play it. You can make your own custom Mario games with the skins from Super Mario Bros. 1, Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario Bros. World, or Super Mario World, what the hell's wrong with me? And New Super Mario Brothers, which, but
It has its own charm.
it
It's
did like the
yeah.
first few times I played it, but then I just kind of got sick of it.
It just pales in comparison to the other 3.
Yeah. So that's kind of just a quick rundown of like the game. You just make Mario levels. The first one was they had a lot. You could you place blocks, you create rooms, you put pipes. The pipes will warp you wherever. Coins, enemies. You can stack enemies, and it was really neat. And I didn't even think about things that were missing honestly when I played it until people started complaining about not having stuff like certain enemies were missing, certain power-ups. You wouldn't have slopes to make the slide effects in Mario 3 or Super Mario World. That seemed to be the biggest complaint from the community that was like really behind the game. um, so much that they showed off slopes when they announced the game. So that was great fan service for Nintendo
Yes.
right there. So one of the very first things they did tonight was they showed that you'll be sharing your games. When you watch the direct, they'll have the Nintendo Switch Online. They just showed the course world screen real quick. Just as they said, like download, upload, whatever.
Mhm.
So, and that's what you did in the first one. They get into that a little later in the direct. So I don't know what you want to talk about first, Patrick, but I have a list of everything new they added for this. So feel
All
free
right,
to.
yeah, yeah. We can start with like the order of the direct went and start with just the new features, which
Okay.
they showed off some really cool ones.
They did. So like I said, the first thing they showed was slopes, and
Mhm.
those slopes give you the option to have multiple angles. So that's good. I mean, you can
Oh
have, it's not just one slope that they added just to appease people. They actually are giving you customization behind it.
yeah, it makes
So
the stages a lot more colorful and just like the variety of motions that you can go through.
yeah, and
So
I'm
I
sure
think that's a great thing.
people will make some really good stuff with that. I'm actually looking forward to playing some of these really good levels, and I'm really looking forward to the Nintendo created levels
Oh my gosh,
because
yes,
some of
I'm
the ones
so
they showed
happy.
there. But we'll get to that in a little bit. So me and you talked about it the day before they even announced Super Mario 2. We were talking about possibly them adding Super Mario Brothers or Super Mario Maker 2, and I told you they needed to add the Angry Sun, and they did. So I think that's just a neat little enemy that kind of tormented us all as kids and gave
Yeah,
us
although
anxiety.
they didn't show it in like the other modes at all. It's still just the Mario Brothers 3 increase, and I'm really curious what it looks like in the like other modes if it's possible.
Yeah, I think it would be because from what they said, they only showed um, everything getting deleted or removed if you went to the 3D
Mhm.
World skin. But if you're on the Super Mario Brothers 1, 3, or World, it was all the same assets,
Yeah,
and you could
yeah.
switch between those three.
It seemed like 3D World was the only one with restrictions, so I'm pretty sure it will. I'm
Yeah,
just very curious.
yeah, it'll look cool to see that in 16-bit if it's gonna be like more fiery or something.
Yeah,
So
something look like almost like Majora's Mask sound, just like horrifying.
like it has eyes and a big mouth coming at you. So they added Angry Sun. They also this was announced much later in the beginning of the direct, but they added the Twister. They added
Mhm.
the Twister enemies, which those were in Super Mario Bros. 3 as well.
Yeah.
Then they also added icicles, conveyor belts, a red Yoshi. So the Yoshi that eats the red shell can spit fire. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool that they even went to that length to allow you to customize your Yoshi. I think that's pretty neat. And I'm wondering if that's also going to mean that you have blue Yoshi that can have the wings and fly across the stage or something.
Maybe.
I'm wondering if they'll have that, or the Koopa Troopa with the disco color
Oh yeah, the like
shell.
rainbow flashing
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah. I don't. Did they have that in
Yeah.
the last one? I don't remember.
No. But yeah, I'd be curious if they even maybe have different colored Koopas
Yeah, I feel
for
like they
that
would.
purpose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Because I think right now, or at least the last one, they only had red and green, which for purposes of green Koopas walk off ledges, red turn around.
Yeah,
So
and you could have the flying ones and stuff, but yeah, the dropping off.
yeah.
Um, and they also added parachutes, which we saw on enemies in Super Mario World, and I guess there was a couple in Super Mario 3 too. I feel like I remember an enemy or two having parachutes, like little
Maybe,
Goombas that
yeah,
shot up
yeah.
in the air and they'd come down kind of slow. And then they added the Boom Boom, who's the little guy that in the castle you
Yeah,
fight in Super Mario Brothers 3. So that's pretty cool that
it's a
they.
fun mini boss.
Yeah, so you can
Yeah,
add a little mini boss to the level now, or make it your final boss, I guess. However you want to make
or that,
your
yeah,
level.
or just make it a common enemy everywhere.
Yeah,
Just boom
nothing
booms.
but boom booms everywhere. So that stuff was a little later, but I think it kind of fit with the Angry Sun, so I wanted to mention those. But as far as like different, well, they also added the Bonsai Bill. It's like
Yes.
homing bullet bills essentially.
Yes.
So that's good. And one thing they added as well that's not technically an enemy, but the dry bone shell.
Oh, that was such a cool
I
power
thought that
up.
was so cool. Like you can play dead, and when you play
Yes.
dead, the fire would go right through you, which I just think that's really neat. That's
Oh yeah, I'm already thinking of like cool puzzles with that, like
right.
using the play dead like while on a conveyor belt to go through a trap or something.
Yes,
Or
exactly. Something
yeah,
like that would be awesome. So I thought that was one of the coolest power ups that they added. Just out of nowhere, and you can go in the lava too with it
yeah.
and stuff like that. So it's just really really neat. Looking forward to that. So then as far as like um, add-ons they did for the level creation, they added the snake blocks, which um, I don't remember. Were those in 3? Were they in 3 snake blocks? I know they're in Mario World for sure.
Yeah,
Cause
part of me wants to say it was started in Mario World, but I'm not entirely
yeah,
certain.
I don't remember. I mean, I've beaten Mario 3 a bunch, but I just don't remember because Mario World I think is more memorable to me. I love that game. Just
Yeah.
so good. Even though everyone loves Mario 3, I just Mario World
I
is
don't think it was in Mario Brothers 3.
yeah.
I think they had just like the airship fortresses and
Yeah, just the auto
their
scroll
castles
levels
were
and stuff.
more puzzly, not really like with the blocks or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, so I know World had it, but anyway, they added that, which is a cool thing. I'm sure people will do crazy, jumping, crazy path levels you have to get through. They added on-off switches, which is definitely a Super Mario World feature. So they showed that you could do that on platform tracks, which was like one of the first places you used it in Super Mario World. They showed that. They showed turning on and off blocks to create puzzles, so that's kind of neat. Another way to,
Yeah.
I wouldn't even have thought of that. They hadn't shown that little quick demo, and I'd be like, oh, that's a great idea. So on-off switches, I think, is going to be awesome. The stuff you can do with that.
I think, especially for multiplayer, which we'll cover later.
Yes.
But oh my gosh, yes.
So excited for multiplayer, especially. We'll talk about it later.
Yes.
So they added a seesaw, which I don't think a seesaw's ever been in the game, has it?
Not a 2D game that I can think of.
Yeah, like I don't recall ever like being on a platform that did this while traveling.
Yeah, no.
And that looked interesting.
They're usually always like perfectly horizontal, so.
Yeah, because like in Mario World, you had just like the wood blocks when you're in the forest levels, and they fall off, and even then you just have like the straight platforms. So the seesaw definitely seems new, and then something else that's completely new is the swinging claw, which
that was totally new.
Yeah, and that's awesome. I think that's really cool too. That's like it reminded me of like they said a crane game. Immediately when I saw it, I was like, that reminds me of the crane from Kirby's Adventure when you play the crane game. And in my mind, I'm just like playing that crane music in my head. But the so I'm sure people will do some really cool stuff with that. Just the physics behind it. They'll probably make a whole level where you just gotta like swing on the crane and dodge enemies and stuff. So
I think I saw like a Japanese screenshot of one that was like a whole conveyor belt of cranes, and they're all carrying like enemies and dropping them down.
Oh yeah,
that looks fun.
That's cool too. Yeah, I'm sure you'll be able to program to tell them like when to open and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think this is one that you probably liked as well. The water levels. Increasing the water levels. That kind of throws back to again Super Mario World.
It makes me think of like the dolphin levels.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So that'll be cool, and that also included lava, so you can do just water and lava, static or dynamic.
Lots of cool uses.
Yeah. So that's really neat. And then they allow you to do custom scrolling now, so your level can go diagonal, straight, up, down. So they've just added so much customization to this game that it's to the point where I'm really excited to see what they've done and what other people are gonna do with it.
Oh yeah.
Just because,
Yeah.
like, I never would have thought about this stuff missing from the game when it like because there was so much in the first one as it is, and then just
I know,
this
and
stuff.
people were so creative in the first one, and I can just imagine like the possibilities now with so much tools that they've added.
Yeah.
It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this. So I think the only thing I didn't talk about yet was that was new was so they have vertical sub areas now as
That's
well. So, so
awesome.
so that's like
Mhm.
Mario 3 and even some things in Mario World, like the little mini game you can jump up and
Mhm, mhm.
so you can do that. Um, and they showed you how to make like a hidden room that'll stop scrolling if you go into it
Yeah,
by
that's
creating
pretty cool.
a solid line of blocks around the room, and then that'll make it like your underground dungeon levels with coins and stuff like that. And they added 10 coins, 30 coins, and 50 coins. And that's,
Mhm.
they showed it off as kind of like a big coin. That's like, how are you going to get that? They talked about
Yeah,
tempting users, and, I'm sure.
that's a little fun challenge incentive for
Exactly, yeah.
levels.
You'd
So
be like, okay, you beat the
yeah.
level, but did you get the 50 coins at the top? So stuff like that. And I'm sure the online leaderboards will probably keep your score as well as your coin count, because those are typically the two things that really matter in a Mario scorekeeping. Um, and then I think some of the coolest stuff, some of the new sound effects were pretty neat. That they showed that you can do a couple different things. They had like they had the pig from Mario Paint pop out when you jumped on an enemy. So it's like, so I thought that was pretty funny to me, just because I played a lot of Mario Paint as a kid, and the other thing they did was you can create winning conditions, like clear
That is
screen.
one of my three favorite things that
Isn't
they've
it?
added to this. Winning conditions is so cool.
Yes, that
Like,
to be able to customize exactly what you have to do to beat the game instead of just getting to the flag or beating Bowser or whatever. That's really,
mhm.
really, really cool.
It really just adds so much flavor to the levels and like extra use of like all the assets. Like the big coins now suddenly are much more valuable if you had the winning condition of having to get certain coins. And you're like,
Yeah,
oh man, I really needed that big coin.
yeah. So
Or
that's a game changer
yeah,
for those levels.
yeah.
It really is. You can do, like they said, you can set it to kill all dry bones, or you can set it
Mhm.
to collect all the coins, and it looked like they showed like the red coins you collect, and that was a
Mhm,
thing in the first
mhm.
one, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure the red coins were in the
It was
first one.
added later as an update, which was actually really cool. The fact that they even updated the old game, so
Yeah.
I bet we can expect more to come to this game too down the road.
No, I'm sure. I'm sure there was
Yeah.
something I thought about earlier. I was like, oh, are they gonna have that? And then I totally forgot what that was. um,
I think I know
but
what it is, but we'll get to it. Yeah.
one thing that I thought was really cool is that they are allowing co-op creation mode.
Yes.
So that's awesome. I mean, now creating something with two people is always going to be more difficult because you're going to fight over decisions and stuff like that. But if you guys are both really into it, you can put your ideas together and make a really good level. And I'm curious to just see what, teams of people end up creating as well.
Yeah, I
And
think it could be fun for a lot of just goofy fun, or it could actually really inspire some creative design decisions and
yeah. And
just
it'll be
another
great.
fun way to play together. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be great for like kids too. I mean, you're going to have, if you have two kids that want to sit down and play the game and build together, they can do that now, and they'll probably fight, but you can, see them work together. You can see your kids work together. Nintendo, as usual, always does great with, letting everybody play.
Or I'm
So
just gonna start like adding wings to everything in your stage, and you'll be like, why?
all the blocks just are flying. So that was pretty much everything they added new as far as like items that they talked about.
Okay,
Uh,
items. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, but the next thing they talked about was something I'm excited for, and that's the story mode. Because the story
Yeah.
mode is gonna have the 100+ courses that they design themselves. And let's face it, no matter how good a level is that somebody makes online, Nintendo's levels are usually a lot better and more playable and have flow. And to have 100+ new courses from the designers of Mario or people that work at Nintendo that actually have game design, you know, knowledge, we should expect some really good levels out of these. So I'm really excited to play that.
It's like a whole new Mario game with it.
Exactly. I mean, and
now, granted, some of them might be like more bite-sized, like idea chunks, but I'm sure with that many levels, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, there'll be plenty. So I'm really excited for that. So the story mode, real quick, they the way they presented it was basically the castle gets destroyed, and you have to accept jobs from like Toad and other characters, and then you'll play a level, and then you'll win coins, and then you use those coins to help rebuild the castle. So we'll see what comes out of the end of that, if there's like a boss level or something like that at like the very end to finish it. But I'm sure there'll be something really neat. Like I said, Nintendo levels are always good.
It's a cute way to present a story mode that's more than just Mario walking across a flat line, going from level to level.
Yeah, which was the last one. So
yeah.
Which is basically save the princess, but this time you're not saving the princess; you're rebuilding her house. So you're doing a good deed.
Real quick,
sure.
I'm not sure if we missed it yet, but in terms of new content, there was one feature I was really excited about, and that was the new backdrops and themes, especially with the moon. I don't know if that's coming up in our notes.
That is next on my notes.
Yes.
So get into it. Go ahead. What do you want to talk about?
Well, the moon, like night sky features, is what made me really excited. Like that sounds really cool. Some of the ideas they were thinking of, like low gravity jumping in space, or jumping upside down in underground mode, or if you're in like a ghost house level, it's all dark and spooky.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool, and it's funny because when I watched it the first time, like Vivi just got home with the baby, and I was like watching it, but I was kind of like listening to the side, and I didn't really pay attention to that. So when I just watched it, like before we started recording again, just to take some notes, that's when I noticed that and was like, oh man, that's so cool. Like you said, how it basically changes the entire environment. Underground becomes upside down. The desert has a sandstorm. The water in the forest levels becomes poison.
Oh yeah.
And then even like your mushrooms will be like rotten and stuff like that. They can come out and
yes.
You can get some
bad
apples.
Poison Super Mario mushroom looks so cool.
Yeah. So yeah, they did some really cool stuff with that. And then if you touch the moon, it doesn't kill you. It kills all the enemies on the screen. So that's one of those things that could come in handy if you put it in a certain spot of a level. Something that might look, impossible. You can have the moon come down and boom, blow it all away. So.
Or imagine having like to dodge the moon the whole level so you can use it by the end to clear screen.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. That'd be actually really cool. So yeah, you said, we talked about this and the different themes, but they added a desert theme, a snow theme, a forest theme, and the sky theme. And all those themes have new music. Like instantly.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Instantly when they showed that, I was like, that's not Mario music I'm used to. What is this? And then the only one that really stuck out to me right away was the forest. I was like, that's a remix from the Super Mario World forest music. But they said it's all from the original composer, Koji Kondo. Yes, I don't know if I said that right, but yeah.
Close enough.
Yeah, close enough. But it's all from him, so that's cool. They've got some good music. It sounds really good. I just thought it was really cool hearing that right away.
Oh yeah.
So that pretty much covers most everything new, except for, we've talked about it a little bit, but they added Super Mario 3D World art styles.
which is like a whole new game mode.
Yes, so you
Because switching to it just cuts off everything else or most assets from the previous 4
yeah, from what it
versions.
showed, it said it would delete everything if you created something within one of the other 4 art styles, just because of the independent assets for that game. So real quick, I guess we'll just kind of jump down here and stop me if you think something's really cool you want to talk about from this. But they have a Cat Mario, which you can climb the poles, climb up walls that are specially made for that. They had the clear pipes that were in that game, which the enemies can also use. They showed that off. Like Goombas can walk into it, and you can get killed in the middle of that if you're not careful. They added crates, so you can throw those on water and lava to get further in places. So I could see some really good puzzles and stuff coming out of that.
Yeah.
Then they added the warp
Your own
box.
little companion cube through a level or
Yeah,
something.
exactly. A companion cube. Exactly. That'd be awesome. Then this can be a triumph. But so they added a warp box, which just kind of takes you wherever, regardless. You make a level. They showed off some stuff with like enemies everywhere, stuff like that.
Yeah, warping into little battle arenas.
Yeah. The spike block was pretty cool. Thought that looked pretty cool, and they showed it combined with the on-off switch, so that could be very interesting to do that. And then they also had the exclamation mark block, which was a Super Mario World thing, because I guess it wasn't technically, because that gave you the exclamation mark blocks in Mario World would give you the feather. So I was wrong about that, but they kind of had. I guess I'm thinking of the question mark block. You'd hit it, and then it would give you the coin snake, and then you could turn that into blocks. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
But anyway,
this one you have to like hit repeatedly, or else you stomp on it for like all at once.
Yeah, that's what it was. And then they had the blinking blocks, which is pretty cool. That kind of reminded me of Celeste, which I remember from Mario too, but just how the way that the timing was.
Mario.
Yeah, exactly. But the timing though is just very like tip, 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 boom, and then you got to jump. But Celeste was the last game I played that had that, so that was like the first thing that came to my mind. They had tracking blocks that would move, in a certain thing. The mushroom trampolines. The piranha creepers, which big piranha plants that would follow you through whatever maze you want to push it to. Skip squeaks, which are mice that would try to copy your movements. They added those, and then
just your jumps.
Your jumps, yeah. So this is the one I want to talk about though. The Koopa car. So they added the Koopa car, and I don't know if you noticed this or if it was just something you can add into the game at certain points, but when Mario hits that Koopa and takes the car, the Super Famicom logo flashed on the screen. And I was like, what the hell is that about?
I have no idea what that... Unless it was just like maybe a sound effect and a logo popped up or something.
Maybe that's
the sound effects.
Yeah, because I was thinking like...
It was very strange.
I was thinking like, is there some like Super Famicom Mario car game that I'm unaware of? Like, what the hell's going on? Because, I mean, they've done like, tributes to other games with like, something random before. So I was thinking, is there some like unknown game from the West that's not Mario Kart where Mario drives an actual car? And it wouldn't surprise me if there is. So
I don't know, maybe Mario goes missing or one of those.
No, dude, you know what? Think about there is I don't know what it is. I don't remember what it's called, but think about Mario Odyssey. Mario Odyssey had the race car outfit. Do you remember that? And it was a Super Famicom. It was all based off Famicom, and I believe it had to do with either a Japanese like advertisement or it was a game. So maybe that's somehow related. I have no idea. I'm just kind of
I think
brainstorming
I had
here.
a coloring book with Mario in that race car outfit. That's about it.
Yeah, I don't know, but that Super Famicom logo popping up, like you said, it may have just been a sound effect and it popped up because that is what happened when they showed like the pig from,
Yeah,
from Super Mario Paint or Mario Paint. But I don't know. That was like the one thing I saw and I was like, "What's that for? What's going on?" Because I didn't pay attention to the sound that it made. I just saw the logo pop up and it was like,
Yep.
"Mario's in a car. You're driving a car in a 2D Mario game. What the hell?" So
It did have a lot of sound effects after that, like just going woo, wow, every time he like hopped on enemies. So I don't know. I want to say it's probably sound related.
yeah, so that's my little crazy rant I wanted to talk about because I had no idea what that was about. Um, so going on, I guess we're almost done with that. They added the what is it, a charva? Is that what it's
Oh
called?
yeah, like lava
The
monster.
lava, yeah, the lava snake thing. So that could be interesting to
I thought it
rank
was cool
levels
how it
jumping
like
through that.
popped from the foreground even, which was kind of
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, and that's what they did with the bonsai bill too. It can shoot from the back of the
Mhm.
screen and come like right
Yeah.
at you. Um, so they're definitely playing around with like the levels and the planes, so you can, because they showed that too.
Mhm.
They showed that you could put like mountains in the background
And
on the.
then like Cat Mario could like climb up them.
Yeah, like in the very
Yeah.
first screen they did, they like put just like a high block and then it went behind. Oh, I bumped the mic. It jumped behind the level. So, kind of like Smash. Smash has that as well now in the level editor. You can do
Yeah.
foreground and background stuff to make a more in-depth level. So,
More for decorative purposes, but like
yeah,
it's still pretty cool.
yeah. So, other than that, I mean, that pretty much covers everything. I mean, there's multiple enemies from 3D World that they added as well. I don't know all the names of them, so I'm not even going to attempt to. Even the ones I already said, I butchered, I'm sure. So, um,
But yeah, no, I'm excited for 3D World. I think it offers a lot more depth to it. Like a lot of the things that you can do in it are not so one dimensional, but they have like multiple uses. So I think it'll be fun to play around. And
yeah. So, with that, that basically
and
covers everything as far as new, not features.
yeah, one last thing is when they showed Mario 3D World, like how you select it, it definitely seemed like there was a blank space right next to it
Yeah.
for possible future
Yeah, people
styles.
are already talking about that on. I saw it on Facebook and a couple groups I'm in. Um, People are hopeful that it's like Super Mario Land to give us like Game Boy monochrome.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be really cool, especially since like they've done some Game Boy levels in Smash. They've they're about to do the Game Boy theme in Tetris 99, which makes perfect sense. So it would be really
Mm-hmm.
cool to do that. I don't know how much the assets would really match up because Super Mario Land is such a weird game. But
I think well, it
but it,
could work in the sense that 3D World is its own unique thing. So maybe if they were to
exactly.
add it, yeah,
That's
and
exactly
they
what I was gonna
already
say.
added like the low gravity space thing. It's like they're almost halfway there for
Oh,
space
Super Mario
levels.
2? Yes.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
that. So good. With the rabbit ears and then you just float.
Yes,
Oh man, I gotta play
they're
that
good.
game.
Have a lot of fun there.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Uh,
That game is so freaking good too. I wish they would make like a Game Boy collection for those games, or just give us a freaking virtual console. That'd be so good.
yeah.
Those games are awesome, and include the Wario games with them because that's where they birthed from. So so good. Um,
uh,
so yeah,
I,
next. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I just want to offer one other possibility.
Sure.
Um, which is what if they are working on a new 2D Mario with a brand new style? Because we haven't had one in such a long time,
Yeah, not
and they're
since
reserving that space for that.
New Super Mario Brother. Well, I guess 3D Land, 3D World were
It's kind of new.
kind of
Yeah.
2D, 3D-ish, but so since
I
New
want to
Super
see
Mario
something like
Brothers, which was like,
really new.
when was New Super Mario Brothers? Like 2005, something like that. That's a long time
Uh,
ago.
I'll look it up real quick. We're
No,
talking about the first one for DS, or
either. Yeah, DS was the first one, and then the one
yeah.
came out on the Wii.
Then the Wii. Then they had
Then they had New Super
I
Mario
think
Brothers
the
U
Wii
on
U,
the Wii U, and
and
then the
then
Luigi U.
the 3DS one. The
Oh
all
yeah,
gold coins.
yeah.
But New Super Mario Brothers. That was 2006.
2006. Yeah, so 5, 6. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's 13 years without a Mario change. That's
Yeah.
pretty crazy. So I don't know though. I think we would probably, with Mario Maker just coming out, I think we'd see a 3D world, a 3D game before we'd see another 2D game.
Okay.
But if they did make a new one and that little spot is open, that would be perfect for it. So, but I think they would do. I think we're gonna end up getting we're gonna get a Sunshine remake eventuy.
Oh.
I think so. My
I would
controller
like
is
that.
waiting to be broken. I love that game, but I hate it so much. I want to beat it so bad, and I just can't bring myself to play through it. Some of that's just
Yeah.
so frustrating. But I think we'll get a Sunshine remake before we get a new 2D Mario. But I don't know. We'll see.
Oh man. Imagine how good it would feel to use the HD rumble and the flood pack and feel like the water like shooting out and like
Yeah.
aiming around.
Yeah. That'd be awesome. Just wanted to. There's only like the only thing they talked about next was the online modes.
Mm-hmm.
So they have the course world, which we talked about. You share your course there. You browse the different levels that are available based on newest, highest rated. But they have the search feature now, which allows you to tag your levels.
That is huge.
It's massive. It's massive because that was my biggest complaint of Super Mario Maker, was that every freaking level was some auto play level where you couldn't even play the game. You literally just it would say don't touch anything, and then Mario would just fall off and do all this stuff. And it's like, that's really cool. Like, your level's cool. You did a great job. Sometimes, no, they weren't all the best, but you know, I saw some that are really neat. But at the same time, I'm like, I want to play. I don't want to watch what you did. So that was really annoying to me, especially like one time I tried to do the like 16 level match or whatever, like with, what is it, like 50 lives to beat, 16 levels or something like that. And like 10 of the levels were auto runs, and I had to just like skip them, and it was just a pain because I just kept skipping them and kept getting auto runs that people made. So I'm really hopeful that I can like filter those out and never play them ever again. And I don't even want to see them because I don't know. It's cool. It's like I said, it's cool people can do that stuff, but I don't want to watch it. If I wanted to watch it, I'll go on YouTube and watch it. I don't want to watch it when I'm trying to play Mario. Just grinds my gears.
Old man shakes fist at cloud.
Yes. Screw that cloud. So they also added the comments, which were like it looks like they had like preloaded comments, kind of like Mario Kart, but it also showed like Miiverse, like customizable drawings that people did.
Where you can sketch them in.
So I'm sure that'll be great and be, cause a lot of people to get banned for writing, sexist and racist stuff, because that seems to be what everyone does on Miiverse these days.
I'll probably turn that off just because it seemed a little distracting.
Yeah, because if you're playing in the level, then it's like, watch out. And it's like,
Yeah,
well,
like,
I don't
what?
want you to ruin the surprise for me, But that was something they showed, which I think it can be neat, because before it would just show you like where all the deaths occurred on the
I
last
don't
one.
mind that. I thought that's fun. Like,
Yeah.
wow, a lot of people died there.
Yeah, I remember, playing one of my friends' levels, and there's just this one jump where it was nothing but X's, and I was like, probably 50 of them were mine. So, but they allow you to download levels too to play them offline, which
That's awesome.
That was something that they added is really cool too. So, it's huge. But again, you have to have a Nintendo Switch Online account, of course.
Yeah.
Completely fine. You have a profile for your creations, and you can customize your profile, and you get points for courses that are liked by other users. And then they have a mode that can do random courses of every level available in the course world, and you can play until you die, and that'll add you to a leaderboard based on the difficulty of those levels.
Yeah.
So that's fun. I'll probably play it a couple times. I'm sure I won't get anywhere near the top of the leaderboard, but it'll be interesting to see, some of the scores that'll just look outrageous.
Yeah, it seems fun for like quick play or something. You just want to play a few random levels or. Yeah.
So, but
the one thing with your profile is you can also get like little outfits and stuff. That seems like fun. It seems cute.
Yeah. So this was probably the coolest part, is the co-op. The co-op mode. They have co-op versus mode. I personally don't like versus modes, especially in the new Super Mario Brothers. It looked like everyone bounces off everybody.
Yes.
I don't know if that's in all modes, but they definitely showed it in the new Super Mario Brothers mode. It's cool. I mean, I could definitely see it being fun with the right crowd of people, especially if like, I can see it being very stressful and causing a lot of arguments and, ending friendships.
I can't wait.
But you can play it online, which is great. I just think it's awesome you can play online with it. And then you get ranked in those as well, based off your win-loss ratio, and then, depending on, whatever your rank is, I'm sure that'll add something to your profile. But
it just looks like fun chaos to me. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm more excited for just the co-op mode, just the standard mode, because say you or I find some really crazy hard level, I'm hoping that we can save that, and I'm hoping we can both join that level together and try to beat it together. Instead of taking turns, we can play remotely. I'm hoping that that's something we can add. They didn't really say much about that, but I would assume that's the way it would work. They just said that you have to work together, and then if anyone wins, you all beat the level together. So I think it's cool.
I'm curious how like respawning will work in co-op mode, if you have to like wait for the other person to die and then you both restart, or if you can just like keep going, like one person comes back to start and tries to catch up or something.
Yeah.
Like I saw in the competitive mode how they kept just respawning and they just kept going and going until somebody finished. So
yeah, I think in the co-op mode, I mean, they didn't show, but they showed that everyone was dead except for the last guy that finished.
Yeah.
And I don't know how the respawn would work, unless like maybe when you hit like the midway flag, it will like respawn something maybe, or
that'd be cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll find out, I guess, but I'm looking forward to that because I just think it'd be neat too. It'd be neat if, like I said, if there's some really crazy hard level that you're like this close to beating and we can work on it together. I think it'd be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to that. And then they also had, this one's kind of weird to me. They had local co-op virtual rooms. And
yeah,
I thought that was weird because, like, okay, it doesn't rate your game, which is fine, but the person that starts the lobby has to have internet,
which
and that's
kind
how
of
you
removes the
play.
point of
Yeah.
playing locally.
Yeah, I didn't get that because it was like, well, what if I just download a level or I have my own level? Can I just create
Like
a
for
local
offline
room?
play or something, yeah.
Yeah, I just
Like
didn't.
you're out with friends, you all have your Switches, you just want to play some Mario Maker together.
Yeah, it
But
doesn't
if
make
you have to be
sense.
tethered to online, that's kind of annoying.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense that you would need internet to play local co-op. So I don't know. Maybe it'll make more sense when people start using it, but it doesn't make sense to me now. So I have no idea. So that pretty much covers everything about Super Mario Brothers 2 that they covered in the direct. Super Mario Maker 2, not Brothers. God, what a great game too. That's
There's
not
another
included.
palette they could use.
It is. That'd be a great one. That's what people want. I want doors. I want
Those
yeah, the
little
doors,
potions
the little
that you pull up the
potions,
ground.
the slot machine. Yeah, I
The
want all
evil
that.
mask and the key.
The snakes that jump out of the thing.
And Birdo.
Yeah, Birdo. You gotta have Birdo. So that would be great. I could see them adding Mario 2 just because everybody wants it, and this game's just like a love letter to Mario. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. So that covers the game. I am super excited. Like ecstatic. I'm like ready for this. Not even that like I enjoy making levels that much. I made a few in the last one. I did some recreations of like Mario Land, and they got good ratings. I had a lot of people like them and comment on them, saying that it was send me messages through the interface on the Wii U, basically saying like, "This is perfect. This is awesome. I wish they'd make more, blah blah." And that was really neat to have that type of feedback from yeah, I just copied a Nintendo level it was created, but people wanted it, and it was they didn't ban me for it or take my level away. Well, I haven't been on there in forever, so it's probably gone. but um but
that
it
does remind me though of the one thing that they didn't show, because all the levels I loved to make back in old one were those that used the amiibo custom skins.
yeah,
And
I
they
remember
did not show any indication of that for this.
yeah, and that's really weird that they didn't show any amiibo off, especially considering the Switch uses amiibo and they're still doing amiibo for Smash and all that. So it doesn't really make sense that they haven't talked about it, unless they're just assuming that they're just telling everybody, yeah, it uses amiibo. But I guess we'll find out. E3 maybe E3 they'll do like a treehouse playthrough or something, or at the invitational maybe somebody will hit a block and everyone will like lose their mind, and
they're like, wow.
They'll see like a Ridley costume in the block, and everyone will be like, ah, and it's gonna it'll be some like Metroid themed Mario level, like all in lava or something like that.
Yeah.
So
part of me is wondering is maybe they'll release it later as an update too. Maybe they're trying to include the mystery mushrooms in more modes or something. Like maybe have 16-bit and 32-bit ones for the mystery mushrooms. So
yeah, last time it was only 8-bit, right?
Yeah. So it was kind of limited before.
You had like lanky Mario. It was all like creepy looking, and the music got all weird. Looked like Slender Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that pretty much covers Mario Maker. A couple other things they added at the end of it was, like I mentioned, the Super Mario Maker 2 Invitational. That's going to be on June 8th as part of E3 for Nintendo. So I know a lot of people like watching those competitions.
Oh, I love it.
I know you like that. I watch the finals. I usually don't watch it live, but I usually catch the finals, or if somebody posts like a clip of it, I'll check it out. It's just one of those things, like, I don't know, watching people just play through a tournament can be a little taxing for me. But
I just love it because like these pros who play Mario are so good, and to watch them react to like levels they've never played just using their raw skills, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Because speed running like other games, like, yeah, you know the game by heart, that makes sense, but this is something you have it's uncharted territory. It's so
Yeah.
much fun.
Yeah, the last the World Championship they did with that final level was pretty awesome seeing those guys, figure out those puzzles like so quickly too, and
I know.
where something I would probably still be stuck on it since that E3, not playing it every day. Um, so it is definitely cool, and that's why I said I like to watch the finals because that's usually the best of the best, obviously, and they usually save the best level for the end of the thing, and I like to see what Nintendo has done to try to make these guys lose. So and yeah, I think that's really cool. So we have that coming up on June 8th. I'm sure we'll get more details about that before, as far as when it starts and how to become a part of it, since it's an invitational. So we'll see. So they announced the game's going to be on sale June 28th for $59.99, or $69.99 with 12 months of Nintendo Switch Online, which is a pretty good deal. It's $10.
Saves you $10 on the online.
Everybody's complaining about the online at $20, and this is even cheaper.
A game that you will want to use online for. So.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's huge. $70 if you don't have Nintendo Switch Online and you plan on buying this game. Buy the $70 version.
Even if you do have it.
Even if you do have it. Yeah, it stacks. I'm already stacked until like 2022, I think. So, because I got it as a gift, and then I got the Amazon Prime deal.
Oh, that's right.
Twitch TV. So, yeah, I'm already stacked. I'll probably buy that again. I don't know. We'll see. But then the last thing they talked about were game vouchers, which is pretty cool. You get 2 vouchers for $100, and each voucher can be used to buy 1 game. That's a eligible game though. So my first thought on that was Nintendo only first party games, and in the quick list they showed as they were scrolling down, it was all games I already had. Yeah. Or games that you can buy physically for like $30 or $40, new or even used. So it really depends on what you can get with it. I did read in a forum on a Facebook page, somebody said that there were other games included that were not just first party. So it seems more like an eShop coupon, which I guess makes sense considering you can use like your Nintendo Gold points on non-Nintendo games.
Yeah.
So maybe that's all it is. Maybe it's just like kind of like it's basically an incentive to buy digitally.
Yeah.
So at least they are doing something with that, because that's always been my biggest complaint with digital games, is that if you don't want me to go to the store and you don't want me to buy a physical piece of hardware, don't charge me the same price. Because at that point, yeah, I have the convenience factor, but you didn't manufacture a cartridge, you didn't pay to ship it, you're not paying to store it somewhere.
And yet.
Yeah. So, yeah, and the price is the same. I mean, I get digital, you have server costs and stuff like that. I understand that, but the price of hosting that file is much less than a manufacturer. At least I would assume that it's much less than shipping, distribution, manufacturing. So there
nothing is lost if you don't sell a game digitally. But
exactly.
That physical game is going to be sitting on that shelf still.
Yeah, exactly. So I just really I've always, that's like my biggest complaint with digital games. Like on PC, I buy digital games all the time because they're cheap. They're super cheap. Because guess what? There's no other way to get PC games, and the market pretty much dictates that. You can buy a game the day it comes out for $50, and then 2 weeks later you get it half off on Steam. So it just doesn't make sense to do that. But yeah, I think it's a good thing. I mean, it really depends on what games are available there, and I might check out a voucher or two here and there, especially if there's like upcoming games that I want to have digital. Like there's some games I have now that I kind of wish I had digital just because the convenience factor, like Mario Kart, but I really don't want to spend, even $50 on another copy of Mario Kart. But it would be nice to have digitally.
Yeah.
Um, so
The one game I would think of digitally, which I'm debating if I want to or not, is Animal Crossing, because that is a game I play every single day because there's something new every single day.
yeah, yeah. I mean that's the thing. Um, it's nice to have that convenience factor when you're playing those games all the time.
Hmm.
Like I know we didn't talk about Labo VR. Now that we have it, I went to try the Mario Odyssey stuff, and I was like, all right. And I was like, oh, I gotta find my Mario Odyssey copy now because I don't have digital. And then it was like, all right, well, let me try the Zelda one, which, from what I hear, do not try the Zelda one.
No.
So, but I didn't want to do it because then I have to open my Master Edition again and pull the styrofoam out, get to the part that has, or not the styrofoam, but like pull the tray out, get the game. It's a pain. Like I don't want to have to open a big box and like be careful with it and try not to rip anything, break anything.
Just so you can try out this VR mode for 5 minutes and get sick.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I feel like I probably should have bought Breath of the Wild digitally as well, just to have it. um, maybe I'll buy the next one. But I have to have it physical though too, so I'll probably buy both. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Speaking of that, Link's Awakening. We're gonna get more news about that at E3, and I'm excited.
Maybe. I'm not. I mean, it would make sense, but I could also see them if they have enough other stuff to talk about. Like we know what we're getting with that game.
Yeah, but we don't know about collector's editions, and we don't know about Amiibo, and we don't know about lots of other junk release dates, or at least a month that it's going to come out.
Yeah,
Something. I think we'll get something. I mean, that's a highly anticipated game.
it would be cool if they like added new features or something, just a little extra to sprinkle into the game and showed that off.
Yeah.
Just like how the Game Boy Color version had that new dungeon.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if they do anything different with this version. So I just can't wait to get electrocuted by the shopkeeper. I'm looking forward to that.
Thief.
Always and forever. So what happens when you charge 980 rupees for a bow? Get out of here. 200 rupees for a shovel. They were free in all the other games. So, but yeah, so that wraps up the Super Mario Maker 2 Direct episode.
Yeah, how long did we run?
We ran 57 minutes. It's
All right,
a
not
new
not too
record.
bad.
A new
I think
record.
that's a good note to end on. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's a good episode 5.
Yeah. For
Um,
future episodes, we'll be talking about Labo VR. We'll talk about that Smash update that we didn't cover because it came out the next night.
Oops. Yeah, I haven't even played it yet. I've been, like I said, when the start of the episode, I was away, and then I just was sick, and I've barely played my Switch, and when I have played it, I've played a little bit of Cuphead, which is now out on Switch,
Yes,
and
we'll talk about Cuphead.
yeah, like me and Patrick already beat that on Xbox, but it's just
I
nice.
beat it on Switch too,
Yeah,
actually. So,
I'm
yeah.
like I'm still on the first island, but I haven't played much.
Okay.
Um, and I've played some Tetris 99, which I'm looking forward to the tournament starting this weekend, so I can get
Yeah.
My Game Boy theme. So, which if you want to play, you can probably get the Game Boy theme. You need 100 points. You can probably get that in I don't know 3 hours maybe, a couple hours. You should be able to get 100 points. It's not too hard,
Mhm.
unless you're just terrible at Tetris. Which I'm not terrible, but which real quick, they did a
Yes,
DLC drop for Tetris 99.
that's right.
$10. It added offline marathon mode, which is just standard Tetris, and it added a 98 bots that you can fight against, and you can change the difficulty. And I can still win on all the high difficulties, but I can't win online, and it's killing me. There's a small piece inside of me that's dying every time that happens. When I keep coming in third place. So one of these days.
Yeah.
But for $10, I thought it was worth it because I was never gonna buy Puyo Puyo Tetris or whatever, and for for $30 or $20, however much it is now. But I really like Tetris 99. I like being able to hold the extra piece at the top. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a good game. So
I
I
think
thought
it's cool.
$10 is worth
It's
it.
an option for people who don't have Switch Online. I think they can also just purchase it. So
Yeah, exactly. You can buy it for $10, and then once you get the online mode, you can open that up. So,
mhm.
but yeah, that'll be the last thing to talk about, and we will see you guys in episode 6. There's another thumb there, 6. So yeah, 3 and 3. So we'll see you guys in episode 6. Until then, happy
Happy
gaming.
gaming though.
See ya.